Hey, this is Jono from OpenLearnSec, and welcome back to another episode of Naked CTF. What is Naked CTF? It's where I attempt a CTF exercise from HackTheBox with no prior knowledge, no walkthrough, no nothing. So this is me doing it for the first time. Sometimes it's pretty straightforward, sometimes it's not, but the point of recording this is to keep me accountable on my learning journey as I work towards my OSCP. And also to provide, a bit of an insight for those who are interested or those who might be going through a learning exercise themselves, just about how the methodology that I'm developing for, offensive security, pen testing, whatever you want to call it, and some of the mistakes that I make along the way and how to find and research answers and all that sort of stuff. So with that said, looks like we're up and running already. I just launched this machine for the first time. We're going to attempt to do it in adventure mode, which is where we simply need to submit the flags. If I do get stuck, I can switch over to guided mode here, and this gives us a few hints about where to look next. And if we get really stuck, we can always use the write-up, but I want to try and avoid that at all costs, because the purpose here is to really, try and figure stuff out along the way. So let's get started. 10.10.10.134 is our IP. And the first thing, as always, is we do some enumeration. SC, SV, ON, nmap 1.txt, T4 timing, and let's have a look. So nmap is using the top 1000 ports, and we already see 4 ports are open, fairly common. It's going to go and run the version discovery and try and figure out what those particular services are. If you watched the last episode, I think it ran to 3.5 hours. It was really, really tricky, just because there was lots of decoys and red herrings along the way to try and basically, trick you or to spend your time enumerating stuff, and boy, did they do a number on me. So, but we're back anyway. Let's grab the nmap output here, and I'm going to start capturing this in my notes. One thing I am trying to get better at is taking notes along the way, because the OSCP requires really, really good note-taking and reporting, report writing. So I'm trying to practice that as we go. So here we are with my template. So we're going to start with the nmap notes. Let's have a look through it. We've got SSH, OpenSSH for Windows, the service discovery has found. We've got 135.139.445. So 139.445 is Samba. 135 is just generic RPC services. And let's see what the nmap script discovered. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is check out Samba. SSH is usually not something that we want to start with in terms of trying to brute force a password or something like that. So we'll do SMB map -h, the IP. Oops, SMB map -h, 10.10.10.143, 134. And let's see what it finds. 0 SMB sessions. Okay. Yeah, this guy is not telling me that there's any shares available. 10.10.10.1. Okay, interesting. Admin backup C and IPC. So why did SMB map not find those? That is very curious. I'm going to have to look at that. So one thing I learned in the friend zoned box, which was in the last episode, is that the nmap SMB enumeration scripts are really useful. So I'm going to just start with that before we start digging through any shares or anything like that. And I just need to look up the name of it themselves. So it's going to be nmap script SMB, yep, etc. And then the IP 10, 10, 10, 1, 3, 4. So while we look at that, we've got net bias and SMB. Okay. Let's get our enumeration notes going. SMB enum shares. Okay. We need to specify the port. Let's have a look at the... Yeah, this is what I was expecting to see, is the actual share name returned. We learnt that yesterday, that in some cases it can also show the local path that the share name maps to on the server side, which came in clutch yesterday on the last episode. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so admin $ remote admin, that's a default system share. Backups is a user created share, and we have read access to that. C $ we have no access to, again, usually a system or default share. And IPC is also a default share, which we have read write to. I don't think that's normal, but let me just grab the text here, put it in our notes. So SMB enumeration, got a copy of that. Okay, so I think the first thing we want to do is explore this backups share. So SMB client minus, what do we want to use? L 10, 10, 10, 1, 3, 4, minus N, sorry. N 10, 10, 10, dot 1, 3, 4 slash backups. All right, hopefully we hit gold. Okay. So we have a couple of, we have a text file. Okay, let's just get all of this. Nmap, text file, get note.txt, get SDT, and then this is a directory, another directory. Okay, Windows image backup, CD back, CD. I think we need to put this in quotes or use the escape to use quotes. Oops. Yep. Okay. So we have .vhd, which is virtual hard disk. So this, I believe, is a file that represents a drive or a volume in a virtual machine. It's a Microsoft specific file format. I know that VMware has a different format, but there are some open interoperable standards, and then this looks like some other metadata about the backup. So I'm just going to get this backup specs. Let's jump out and have a look at what we found so far. Nmap test file. ABCD whatever. Okay. That just looks like random repeating alphabetic letters. Okay. Then we've got note.txt. Sysadmins, please don't transfer the entire backup file locally. The VPN to the subsidiary office is too slow. Okay. This temp file is 0 bytes, so I don't think it's going to give us anything. That SDT, yeah, nothing there. Let's have a look at the backup specs. So it looks like this is some of the metadata around the backup, the volume ID, etc. Okay, so I think what's of interest is in this share is these VHD files. I think this is bytes. So bytes to gigabyte. No. 5,418. Yeah. So I'm guessing that the note that we downloaded, please don't transfer the entire backup file locally, is telling us to not download this VHD. It might be a bit of a clue from the author of this particular box. So what we'd like to do, I think, is open up both these VHD files, crack them open, see if there's anything inside that we can look at. So next is find a way to read .phd files from backup SMB share. Let's have a look what else before we do that. So we've got IPC here. I have a feeling read and write access to IPC for anonymous user is unusual. So let's just do abuse IPC $share. How hackers exploit Windows administrative shares. Let's have a look. Oh, this is from Huntress. Cool. One of my favorite security YouTubers, John Hammond, is a guy from Huntress. Let's have a look. IPC share is inter-process communication used during remote administration of a computer when viewing a computer's shared resources. You cannot change the share settings, etc. IPC share null session behavior. IPC share is also known as a null session connection. By using this session, Windows lets anonymous users perform certain activities such as enumerating the names of domain accounts and network shares. Created by the Windows Server Service. Can't be managed or restricted. Right. Nope. Okay. Let's go to our good friend Hactrix. Pen testing SMB. IPC. With anonymous nulls. Oops. What is going on? Okay. With an anonymous null session, you can access the IPC share and interact with services exposed via named point pipes. The enum for Linux utility within Kali is particularly useful. Within it, you can contain the following information: operating system, details of parent domain, blah, 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 blah. So let's have a go. I'm not super familiar with enum for Linux, but there is as good a time as any. Looks like we just pass an IP. And then what we want to actually enumerate. Let's just do -a, do all simple enumeration. It's default. Okay. Enum for Linux 10, 10, 10, 1, 3. Can't find workgroup or domain. I mean, I don't expect this box to be on a domain because it's a single server. Server doesn't allow session using null username, password, aborting remainder of tests. Okay. So not a lot there. I think if we had even an unprivileged regular domain user that we could do something interesting there. We'll come back to that if we find some creds. In the meantime, let's have a look at so mount VHD file. Okay, so that's if you're on Windows to attach a VHD. Data recovery. Mount VHD file Linux. To mount a VHD image on Ubuntu or Debian using a tool, guest mount. Okay. Backup images are also saved in the VHD format. Thus, to access them is a need of ours in case we want some files that reside in them. Don't worry, we can mount them as Linux on well. Carrying out the tutorial, we're using Ubuntu. However, the same steps are available for Kali. Guest mount tools come in the libguestfs package along with other tools. So the first thing that we want to do is install that package. Okay. If you get any dependency errors, then simply force the package install. Okay. Might break something, but whatever. If the virtual hard disk.vhd on your system is on your local system, then we can mount it directly. However, on remote storage with SAMA, I think that should be Samba, or CIF protocol. There's quite a few spelling errors in this document, but it's very useful, so thank you to the author. Yeah, so it looks like we can mount the VHD from a remote share, which is cool. So guestfish, once you've dropped into the guestfish shell, type run, list file systems, and exit. Huh, okay. So it suggests you do it under sudo. Nautilus is the, yeah, okay, GUI. And then you've got guest unmount. All right, so let's get going with this. I think this is the right set of tools that we need. libguestfs-tools. So sudo apt install libfsguest-tools. Oh, lib guest fs, lib guest fs. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, so that's going to be working for a little while. So while that's going, go back and find the package that we need for remote CIFS utils. So PhD1, PhD2, it's going to be 10, 10, 10, 1, 3, 4 slash backups slash, we'll get the rest of the path in a minute. Backups. Okay. Come on, finish. Now, remote PhD file Linux. Okay, Mediamatic from Samuel. I'm working in Calais, didn't have a Windows system to work with. VHD was, remote share. Okay, so guest mount. Before we begin using guest mount, we still need to solve the issue of it being remote. So CIFS utils. So we create a local directory which we mount the SMB share under. Going. Nope, it's already there. Cool. So in our working directory here, let's call it backups share. Then we mount -t CIFS, and then our path, then our local path, then O read write. Okay, let's try this. Mount -t CIFS, our destination in /, 134 / backups. Then our local path is going to be backups share. Then O is read write. And we need to run that with sudo. Then we move into backups share. And there it is. Okay, so we can now navigate it like a local file system. That's handy. So the path is Windows image backup, L4, then backup. Yep, cool. So let's just grab this path so we can keep our notes going. So rather than use the remote path, we'll use our local path. And then we've got two VHD files. First is this one. And grab the second one. Very, very similar. 969C, A17, 806, F6. Yeah, it's weird. Looks like those file names are identical. FBC3 and 4. Yeah, so there's like literally one hex character difference between them. BC3 and BC4. So that means we still want to look at both. We've got that mount process done. And then within the mounted file system, we want to mount the VHD into another local mount point. Okay, let's create 2 new directories. 1.6 Bastion. Let's create VHD1 and VHD2. And then we'll go back into where the VHD files are. And we want to use guest mount minus add guest. Let's just check it's there. Yep, guest mount minus add or tac add. And we'll grab the first one. Nine C3. Yep, and then the tac inspector. Read only, assume that is. And then the local mount path, which is going to be HDB 186 Bastion VHD1 minus V. All right, it's doing some file system magic. Let that go. I think that's the smaller of the two. Warning, image format. Oh, okay. Keep going. Wow, it's a lot of work to unpack this VHD. SIG term. Okay, did it actually work? Bastion VHD1. No, it did not. I would say that given the amount of noise in that output, that we should run it as sudo. Especially if it's touching the local fstab file, it'll definitely need to be run as super user, because making any changes to that file you can't do as a regular user. Let's have a look. Suppose we did say verbose. Box VHD1. No, nothing. Okay. All right, that's the first one. Let's try second one. So if we do 969 CFBC4, and then put that on VHD2. All right. All right, see different output, different log output, and no no like sig term or at the end. 186 PHD2. Okay. Sudo ls minus lath. Aha. Okay, that definitely looks like a C drive because we've got the Windows directory. So, okay, let's drop into root shell because we need the permissions to poke around in here. And if I can type my password correctly. And of course, do it 2 times in a row. Sudo minus I. There we go. So we want Jono, HackTheBox 186 PHD2 LSLATH. Wow. Okay, where do we start? So I think probably users is the right way. This, I believe, is the actual PC name, L4MPJE. Let's have a look in that. L4. Yep. So a typical users directory, enter user dat. Always worth checking out the desktop first. Desktop in ini. Nope. Documents. Nope. Okay. Downloads. Nope. App data. It's just like the profile stuff. Yeah, probably not worth looking into. Let's have a look at Vault. Desktop. Okay. Okay. Documents. Okay, it seems we've got some permissions issue here. I mean, NTFS, file system ACL, over Samba, over VHD, like we're going through many layers of abstraction here. Let's have a look at the other user. So we've got public desktop. I'm looking for the user flag. Okay. Where do we go? Doesn't appear to be a lot in users. Anything interesting in auto exec? Nope. Page file we don't want to touch. It's just going to be binary garbage. Let's have a look at program files. Oops. Program. Yep. DVD Maker, Windows Journal sidebar, Internet Explorer, Windows Mail, Defender, MS Build, etc. Yeah, I mean, this looks all very much default Windows installation. Okay. So I do want to go back and see what's going on here. So the second one we mounted. C4. Yeah, the other one's only 37 megs. So this might be like a separate partition that has represents a volume, maybe like, I don't know, some bootloader partition or something along those lines. So I think this is the only one that we can actually target. This one's never going to mount. And I think in the output when we were trying to mount it, it had some messages around file system type and that sort of thing. So, okay, we've got the VHD. Let's go back to our notes. So this is the C3. Yeah, the C3 is a smaller one. Not legit volume. Looks like typical Windows install / system drive. So thinking about it, we don't have any other shares that are of interest. The backups one is the only one that we've found anything useful. We've been through it. We've got all the little scraps of different information that are scattered throughout. At a port level, we've got SSH. Let's get a full port scan going just to be super cautious. So nmap sc sv 10.10.10.134. Then we want t for output minus o n nmap.2.txt t4 v and then all ports. Just in case. Oh yeah, I mean look, there we go. There's already, these are probably RPC services because we saw the RPC bind service. Not RPC bind, but RPC, maybe this is the locator service. So at least we can figure out what's on these higher order ports or get an idea. Okay. But really I feel that we haven't got anything out of this VHD file that we've mounted. So I want to continue to dig around in here. Can we look at the recycle bin? Just some random junk. Recovery. Yeah, I think that's more system junk. Let's have a look at the output here. Okay, so 445.5985 is HTTP API. I think that's part of the standard Windows services. Then all these higher order ports, 6465, 6869, 70, all RPC. So I don't have a lot of faith that we're going to find something particular in these. You'll often see this HTTP API service running. This is saying for SSDP UPnP. So it's part of like the subsystem, networking subsystem, I guess, for providing some, UPnP services. Let's just have a look at the what Dr. Google says. Pen tests. Remote. Oh, this is a write-up. Want to look at that? HTTP API. HTTP API. Means the server didn't receive the correct domain name inside the host header. Okay. So let's try it. This first one is 5985. So 10, 10, 10, 1, 3, 4, 5985. Not found, but does it give us a certificate? General, missions, security. I don't think it does. All right, I'm going to park that for now. Let me just grab this extra information and stick it in our notes. So we do know the computer name, which is Bastion. I don't think it's domain. It's saying it's got a work group, which is like the default when you don't have a regular Active Directory domain. Let's put this in here. Okay. Let's make this bigger. Sorry. Okay. So really at this point, I mean, we've got this backup of a machine. I guess we could try and figure out how to dump some credentials out of here somewhere. I know there's different attacks on SAM and everything else. So I wonder if there's like a enumeration script that will tell us some possible vectors or where we could find some hashes. Maybe we can dump assuming, okay, so we don't know, but we might be assuming that this is a backup of the actual machine that we're attacking. So it's a backup of 10, 10, 10, 1, 3, 4. Might be, might not be. So pen test enumerate Windows file system. Sensitive files in the grab in Windows. Yeah, but we just have the file system. We don't have local system access. Integrity levels, no. Yeah, so we can't run like any of these commands because it's like not a running operating system. It's just a snapshot of a point in time snapshot of the disk. So we can't do Kerberos attacks. Yeah, really more interested in yeah. Create an account to read the full story. Yeah, come on, Medium. Why you be like that? It's like this domain is being squatted on and grep.se. Okay. Let's try and find something more useful. File system access. NTFS tricks collection. Provask. So let's just do this. Do we want to use Metasploit? No. Not that I have anything against Metasploit. See, we don't want to do it at a service level. Like, we don't want to be attacking some component. Mimikatz, I hear a lot about. But does it work for... Yeah, so like LSASS is one place that you can obtain hashes. Active Directory itself has a few different ways, some through misconfigurations, etc. Extracting local user password hashes from SAM. So yeah, we don't have the password. We don't have the registry tools. So I think Mimikatz is probably Cat's offline file system. Okay, this technique can be involved in pen testing by obtaining passwords and clear text from a server without running malicious codes. Okay. If you found offline dumper, you ever dump, blah, blah, blah. Yep, proc dump I'm familiar with, but we can't create a proc dump unless we mount that VHD. And even then, I don't think that would work. Okay. From VH, I mean, it's a little specific, but... Oh, there we go. Using 7-zip, you can view the contents of VHD. Cool. 7-zip does everything, man. Okay, so we've actually done all this. Hey, wait a minute. This is the box that we're working on, L4MPJE. Oh, okay. So this guy has written a blog post and is using Bastion as his example. Do I really want to go through this? I mean, it kind of constitutes a walkthrough. Yeah, look, if it's just for dumping the SAM, we can, and dumping the passwords, we can stop reading there. In fact, I think the article stops there. Yeah, it does. Okay, so this is what we want to do. We want to go to Windows System32 config. We want to snag the SAM folder and system folder. You may also want to grab nts.dit if you're on a domain controller so you can crack all of the AD hashes. Yeah. So it's literally just the two directories containing the local cached passwords. Okay, this is what we're kind of looking for. In packet secrets dump. Yeah, okay. So yeah, let's let's make a directory password dump. And from here we're going to go Windows System 32. What was path? Config. Windows System 32. Is it capital? Yeah, capital. Config. What? Come on. System 32 config. Wow, it's really slow there. I guess it's trying to remotely grab all the file system metadata and everything else as you move through the directory. So we want the SAM folder and we want the system folder into our working directory 186. No, it's going to be Jono 186 password dump. Might take a little while. Okay. And then let's go there and give myself permission so I don't have to do all of this as root. All right. So we've got those two guys. Then we want in packet. Which one is it? Secrets dump. And we pass it the SAM folder, the system folder. So minus SAM is SAM, minus system is system. Local. Oh boy. Okay. So we got some hashes. Let's grab these. And run them through John, I guess. So vim local hashes. And hopefully it will just instantly recognize that particular hash format from the SAM. Okay, so how do we do this? John. John what do we call it? Local hashes, word list, user, share, word lists, rock you. Detected hash type LM, but the string is also recognized as NT. Okay. So this is definitely an area that I need to brush up on, is like all these different hash types from SAM, from domain controllers, you know, Kerberos tickets, everything else. Usually I just kind of feed it into John the Ripper and pray that it works. But I wonder what it's doing now. It's actually trying to identify the hash type. Or do we need to kind of force it? So let's do John the Ripper, Sam dump. Okay, dumping files from using Mimikatz. I'm wondering if we need to specify a hash type in order to make it run better. Copy this hash and save it in a notepad file. Run the following command. Format NT. Yeah, I think it's... I think we need to specify the type, because otherwise it's going to make some different assumptions about the hash type and potentially exponentially increase the number of attempts. So format equals NT. Okay. So administrator. Is that it? Just want to be sure. I thought it would try all 3 hashes that were in there. Let's have a look. Okay, we didn't do ntds.dit. We did use secret stump for the SAM. Right. Yeah, that looks like our hash. So it's the last column, right? This is the actual password hash. So I'm going to try this. Oh, that's not the URL. Station.net. I don't think this works though. Result nil. Until m type hash. But nothing there. Let's try this one. Oh, it's the same. Okay, let's copy this to local hashes 2 in local hashes. Let's just do one line. Okay. Is that it? One way to find out. There is a SSH daemon running. So let's try administrator at 10.10.10.134. Assuming it's using Windows authentication for SSH and assuming this is actually the password. So it's complaining about RockU having invalid UTF-8. Probably some random character in there. So it just defaulted to its own word list. What are we doing wrong here? Let's just look at in-packet secrets dump. I have a feeling we've got to wrangle something. Yeah, like we've got to wrangle something from the output of in-packet secrets dump. So it's user ID, RID, LM hash, NT hash. LM hashes. So maybe the LM format instead of NT. I'm not feeling very confident that I'm doing this correctly, but I'm not 100% sure that testing the password by this SSH service is correct either, because the SSH service may not be using Windows authentication. So really feel like this is kind of 101 stuff that I should know. Maybe hashcat. We'll have a bit of hash file is hashes. Dictionary is user share word lists. Oh goodness. Not sure how this is going to work in a VM. Hash mode was not specified with -m. Attempting to auto-detect hash mode, the following mode was auto-detected as the only one matching your input hash. NTLM. Okay. Okay, cracked. Hash target is that. Word list. Speed. Covered. Progress. Rejected. Restore. Candidates. So is that? Is that it? I'm really struggling to interpret this. Reading hash cat. Okay, I'm getting very humbled here. Yeah, so it should give you the hash colon password. Oh. What's this show? Oh my god. Do I have to pass a parameter to tell it to explicitly output it? Yeah, I see it's empty, right? Nothing there. -o hashcat output. Cat hashcat. Okay. Is it no password? Okay. Let's go back to our hashes. Now let's try it again with the full list rather than just the administrator user. Right. Okay. Cat HC output. Oh. So it's got this bizarre Bureau Lamp JE. So that's for the hash ending in 9869. Cat local hashes 2. 69. 69. Okay, so that's for this user. So let's try. First of all, let's store this away. The username all4 mpje all4 mpje from Sam Dom. So I wonder if this will work. L4 mpje, then Bureau Lamp JE. Aha! Look at that. Oh, my excitement. Got how to type. So now we know that from the backup VHD, we're able to dump the SAM, we're able to crack the password for this local user, and it has SSH enabled. So first things first, let's see if we can find the flag. There it is. Awesome. Let's put that somewhere in here. Oh man. This is an exciting thing to do. I love it when you have that breakthrough moment, even though I'm fumbling around in the dark. So what do we want to do next? Do we have PowerShell? PowerShell? Yes, we do. So I think I want to be lazy. Not lazy, but I mean, I could spend another hour poking around in here trying to figure stuff out, right? Or I could look for a Privesk opportunity using WinPeas. Not to be confused with LinPeas. So let's just kill some of these. Yeah. WinPeas. WinPeas. I think we want the PS file. And usually these hosts don't. Oh, bizarre. Ping 111. Yeah, so they don't have external internet access, which means we need to put it on our attacker machine and then download it to the victim machine. So let's just have a look. I think a binary would just be easiest, right? Yeah, WinPeas 64. Let's download that. And then we will copy or just move downloads WinPeas into the local directory. Then on here, we will use our good old friend certutil. Certutil. I cannot remember the syntax. Is it in my notes? Util, nope. I need to add something for this for later. Is it in here? Oh, okay. I need to Google it. Download with cert util. Oh, actually, because we got PowerShell, right? We can do PowerShell that we get. Yeah. So let's, yeah, we can just use the desktop directory. So let's run, first of all, let's move WinPs to WinPs.exe. Then run our web server, Python 3 -m http.server. Then we can do we get http 10.10.14.26, which is my local host. Then port 8000. Then winpeas.exe. Then I think it's out file winpeas.exe. Oh, my terminal went all screwy. Okay, so can we just do that? Nice. Okay, we'll get WinPeas to have a look. See if there's anything obvious in terms of a Privesc opportunity. Okay, let's read it as it writes. I mean, we should be doing some basic stuff right now, like checking what groups we have membership of, etc. Computer name Bastion. Okay, nothing extraordinary. Lapse. If installed, local administrator password is changed frequently and is restricted by ACL. Okay. LSA protection is not enabled if enabled. A driver is needed to read LSA assess memory. Well, we've already kind of got the SAM database anyway. Credentials guard. If greater than 0, credentials will be cached in the registry and accessible by a system user. We're not a system user right now. That's what we're trying to do. No AV was detected. That's good. Net settings, drives information, WSUS not found. This system is an insider domain, so no curb relay attack. LSA settings. It's like NTLM is downgraded. Named pipes. Log, OpenSSH agent. VG auth. Non-admin. Current groups, domain users, everyone uses, network, authenticated users. Yeah, I think that's pretty vanilla. No Azure. Administrator is enabled. Guest or default default account is disabled. Okay. L4 MPJE, that's JAE, that's us. We've got full access to our home directory. That makes sense. Services. Interesting services, non-Microsoft. SATA 2 RAID store port. Okay. Logic network adapter. ECMFN. What's that? ECMFN. Yeah, I think that's some Windows default stuff. And this, I think these are all drivers in support of virtualization. Serial IO, SATA, RAID, Mellanox, and IndyBand. What? It's like a 50 gigabit networking. Mellanox, Qlogic, Open SSH, auto-load agent to hold private keys for public key authentication. Okay. Open SSH daemon itself. So, okay, that's the SSH keys agent. That's the SSH daemon itself. VMware tools, VMware helpers, VMware, whatever that is, Mellanox. Okay. Cannot modify any service. Installed applications. OpenSSH. VMware. This is all Windows default. Yeah, the only non-default thing I recognize there is OpenSSH. Auto run, read, VMware user process, Explorer, log on, shell. Oh, there we go. Oh. Yeah, but we're not going to be able to change the properties of these registry keys, right? Because, well, unless they've deliberately misconfigured it. But I doubt we can edit those keys. I very much doubt it. Okay. These are all the various drivers that are loaded. Path injection, yeah, but only if you have write access to that part of the registry. Yeah, this is like file association stuff, I think, unquoted and space detected. So why it's highlighting this is because without quotes and spaces is you can actually hijack this and get it to run your own command. And that would run as the context of whichever process launches this server system. You could potentially get system escalation that way. But unless you can actually edit these registry keys themselves, Don't think it'll work. Microsoft Active Setup, stub path. Okay. Stub path. Okay, folders. Under my user profiles, so no big surprise. So that's worth having a look at, but that's just going to launch in my own user context. It's not going to be launched as system, I would think. But let's take a note. Okay, tasks we can create. Write data, create files. Okay. Third-party device drivers, don't really care. Network information. Nothing unusual except for SSHD. Yeah, nothing unusual. Firewall enabled. It's false. Cool. Good to know. Let's see. DP API master keys. Yeah, it's not flagging it as a serious vector. Security package credentials. I think that's my hash anyway. It looks different because it's v2. That's the SSH public key. We're not doing key-based authentication anyway. Some Cortana stuff. Oh, look at that. Recognize the flag as a match to regex for something for Flickr API. Must be the same number of bytes. KuCoin, yeah. Maybe there's a crypto wallet on here. Launch darkly. I'm really sorry you guys have to sit and watch all of this scroll by. To be honest, I'm looking for a bit of a slam dunk. So this is just all data that matches some API regex that WinPeas looks for. Hi, okay. Let's think about this. So it looks a little different to the VHD it looks a little different to the VHD backup that we had. I mean, let's see if we can read SAM. Yeah, access denied. So it's not like now that we're on the box, we can dump the SAM because we're a low privilege user. Backups. So that's the root of the file share that we're actually looking at. Yeah, so there's the note. So we've already been through that directory. Users, public. I mean, this is just a default user. There's nothing usually there. Admin we won't have access to. Yeah. L4 MPJ. We've already found the key. Yep. We have already had a poke around here. Nothing really interesting. Let's have a look at program files. Common files, i.e. Open SSH is non-default, but makes sense because that's what we're using to access the box. Program files, x86. Common files, IE.NET. mremote ng. This is all Windows default. What is mremote ng? This definitely looks like third-party software. Type readme text. mremote ng is the next generation of mremote, full-featured multi-tab remote connections manager. It allows you to install all your remote connections in a simple yet powerful interface for RDP, VNC, blah, 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 blah. Okay. We're in a shell, so we don't want to launch it. Okay. mremote ng. So it looks like a legit open source project. This looks pretty cool, actually. Could have used this back in my infrastructure days. So by default, there is a search for vulnerabilities. Current issue in mremote ng 17620 allows attackers to escalate privileges via a crafted executable. Yeah. Okay, so there's a CVE for this. 17620. We need to work out what version we've got. And the way we can do this, because I have done it before, is we can use a PowerShell command to look up the file properties. Yeah, this one. So we want to do program files, mremote ng, and then the binary, the image is mremote-ng.exe. mremote-ng.exe. 17611. 17611, so it's older than this. Okay. Let's do search exploit m remote ng. 1773. So this one it's definitely, yeah, so it's older than this version, so it may be vulnerable here. So what is it? Minus X. Oh, don't do that. Search exploit minus X, and then the number was 51637. 51637. mremote ng configuration files can be stored in encrypted state on disk. Versions less than 17620, which is us, even if no, so it loads into memory in plain text, even if no connection has been established yet. This allows attackers to access the contents of the configuration files in plain text through a memory dump and thus compromise the user's credentials. Okay. So okay. I believe this is C# or .NET. It would be good if we could find a binary or PowerShell version of this. So this appears to be a different exploit. This is a privesc. Yeah, this is a different vulnerability. Weak service permissions run with system user permission allows a standard user to elevate to administrator privilege. So yeah, let's run iCackles on the binary and just check what the permissions are. iCackles. iCackles. Yep. There we go. mremote ng.exe. Yep. So NT authority system. So the question is, do we want to go for this issue where we can potentially dump the plain text passwords from memory, or this one, which is a privesc. Let's have a look at this exploit. Um, 30367. Yeah, this is 24307 from 2020. This is from 2023. Now, considering this is an older box, I would say that this is not the exploit that you would be expected to use to get Privesc. So potentially you could use this, dump the credentials that mRemoteNG holds, and maybe the administrative user is in there, or this 2020 CVE is an actual privilege elevation, successfully modifying the service. So we just need to find an example exploit for this. I mean, this is just copies of the CVE. Let's have a look. What's it called? Exploit DB. I mean, we use the command line, but no. Yeah, it's only got this more. Yeah, that's quite recent. So, okay. No, again, just regurgitating the CV detail. Now let's use the explicit. Otherwise, we're getting a lot of contaminated results. Go back to the notes. The original. I think this is the original report. Yeah, that's that page. Okay. Oh, that's the control lapse. Yeah, so it's just referring to access control. Okay. Okay, starting to get a little bit dead end here. There's no obvious no obvious like exploit or proof of concept that's available. So when in doubt, go to Metasploit. How can I see information about this module? This module extracts saved passwords from nremote. Remote stores connections for RDP, blah, blah, blah. This module will extract the connection info and decrypt the saved passwords. So I think we need to, I mean, let's give this a try. I don't know which CVE this is actually in response to. Let's give it a go. Okay, so first thing is we need MSF console. And from what I can see is that the way you do this is you pass a session. So that means within Metasploit console, I need to get the SSH session up and running. And then I can run this module passing in the session that I've already established. Problem is, I can't remember how to do Metasploit create SSH session. Can't remember how to do it. Yeah, okay. So Oct scanner SSH. So use Oct scanner SSH. SSH login. Yeah. Then we set the remote R host is 10, 10, 10, 1, 3, 4. Then set username is that funky username. I mean, I got to try this. It's a very old version of this remote NG. It sticks out like a sore thumb because there's no other third-party software or anything installed. There's multiple CVEs. It just looks like the vector that we need. Set password. Was it? Password, yeah. Be this weirdo password. Okay. Then exploit. Ooh. What? Don't start a brute force. Okay. It successfully brute forced when it already had the credentials. Great. Sessions minus L. Okay. So now we want to switch to this module. Post Windows, gather credentials and remote use. Post credentials. Post credentials. Gather. Why is it not auto completing? I have to. Okay. Windows, gather credentials and remote. Go options. Sessions minus L. Set session 1. Then exploit. May not be compatible with this session type. Do I need to upgrade the okay, sessions 1. Hello. I feel like I have to upgrade the or change the session type. Exploit. Okay. Sessions minus L. Session 2. Sessions 2. Yeah, it's not giving me any feedback. Like I would expect it to be just a normal command prompt. Let's go check we're doing this correctly. Our host, username, password, exploit. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Create SSH session. When in doubt, RTFM. SSH workflows. Opening sessions. Enumerate SSH. Login, brute force credentials. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to log in. Okay, use scanner, SSH login. And then we can just shortcut without setting the options. Okay, so let's kill that. Let's use scanner. It doesn't do auto complete for some reason. Maybe I gotta put a / scanner. Nope. Scanner. SSH. SSH login. Oh, it's where okay, I'm already in this module. No. Okay. Let's just try this. Run SSH app. Username is L4MPJE. L4MPJE. Password is that at 10.10.10.134. Sessions minus L. Oh my god, I know I'm missing something really obvious here. Don't want to do that. Generating a session on Metasploit. HackTheBox forums. Okay. Go away. Yeah, let's just test that we've still got access. I mean, is it possible you can only be logged in once? That's working fine. Okay. Interpreter. So we actually in the interpreter session. Type shell windows. Yep. Oh boy. Metasploit console SSH login go. Okay, why don't we do this? Touch? No. How do you do it? Okay, a bit lost here. Okay. Might be time to go for some hints. How many ports? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Come on. Feel like we made a lot of progress, but just getting a little hung up on this M remote NG thing. Let's refresh this page. And double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wrong. TCP, 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 they're all TCP. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What are you on about? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12, 13. That's what I thought. Maybe it's only talking about the high order ports. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Let's try that. Okay, technically it's 13. What is the name of the non-standard SMB share on Blocky? I never saw a reference to Blocky, but I think it's backups. What is the file extension of the two most interesting files on the share without deleting dot? It's VHD. Two files are needed from a Windows machine. I needed to dump its user hashes. One is same as well as the other. It's system. What is the password for this guy? I think I've still got it there. Yep, good. User flag, we've already got. Remote connection management tool is mremote ng. Name of the file that mremote ng uses to install encrypted user passwords. You find a user in the user's app directory data with their user specific data. Okay, so let's look up mremote ng password file. Exploiting mremote ng. Oh, we've done it again. We've run into a knowledge base type article from this guy, VK9 Security, and he's using the same box that we're doing to using it as his example for this knowledge base article, which is cool. I mean, he's obviously coming across these problems and documenting it, right? But I feel like this is cheating a little bit because I know that these steps are correct for this, but we've already come this far. I've already seen the page. So this cons.xml is in app data remote ng. So that's CLS cd set app data set and remote ng. Yeah, so confcons.xml. I think this is the thing that we need to do. Inspecting the contents. So type confcons.xml. There's a lot in here. username, administrator, password, blah. So hoping, yeah, hostname 127.0.0.1 RDP. So by this kind of description of the credential that's being stored, this is the local admin user, except it's encrypted. Now we're going to crack this password. We'll use the tool mremote-ng decrypt. Okay, so the escalation here was to find the encrypted files and use a tool to crack it, rather than exploiting a CVE for local privilege escalation through like some form of binary exploitation or something like that. So let's grab this. I think we can just grab the script. We don't need the whole repo. So hats off to Mr. VK9. His SEO is very good. He turns up for these specific problems that I'm looking for. Let's grab the raw. And we're going to, all right, kill all this. Go away. Go away. Metasploit, I'm sure you're an awesome tool. I just need to learn how to use you, okay? No hard feelings, bro. So let's chmod +x mremote ng blah. Let's look at it. So you supply a file or a string. So base64 string of mremote ng password. Okay. Yeah, they've obviously. Ooh, looks like the salt is stored with the password. Okay, so it's not even a dictionary attack. Okay, let's grab this administrator password string. Copy. Is there anyone else? This just all looks like application preferences and settings. This is for L4MPGE user, which if it's the same password that's saved, we've already got that. So let's try this. Mremote ng string. Oh, that's a bit messed up. Hang on. Dim admin base64. Paste it in. Get rid of this. So we just want to remove that white space that was copied. That. Grab that. String. And put it in there. Oh my god. Okay. So let's try and SSH as administrator at 10.10.10.134. Use this password. Paste that in. There we are. Oh boy. Okay. Type root txt, grab the flag, and paste it in here. Wow. Okay, so that was an interesting one. Let's kind of review the whole privesc or path to own. We're now at 2 hours and 11 minutes to do that box. better than the 3.5 hours yesterday. So let's just do a real quick write up. Found backups SMB share with anonymous access. In backups share VHD backup files virtual hard disk. Mounted SMB share CIFS utils. Then mounted VHD on local file system. Used, what did we use? Impacket. Spell it. It's a weird spelling. Nope, it's normal spelling. Impacket. Dump secrets. Secrets to get local SAM database. Found password for unproved user. Permitted SSH access to host. Found tool named found third-party software called mremote-ng. mremote-ng stores caches passwords in weak encryption. Used Python script to decrypt administrator password. All right, cool. Thanks everyone for hanging around. 2 hours, 14 minutes. Getting slightly better. Feels like that got a little bit hung up on the how to exploit that mremote-ng, and it actually took a bit of time to find. It didn't turn up in WinPs, not that I noticed. Anyway, I might go back through the output and have a look again. But I think it's just, you know, the importance of some basic manual enumeration to poke around and try and find things rather than always relying on, you know, WinPs or LinPs or whatever it is to give you the answer. I think at the beginning it was very, very interesting learning a little bit more about things like VHD format, you know, how to mount that. The whole dumping of the SAM database, I have done it before, but it's been a long time. Figuring out how to crack that was a little bit embarrassing. It should have been a bit faster moving through that step. But hey, that's why I'm here, is to, you know, just practice and sharpen some skills and everything else. So thanks very much. If you enjoy the video or the content at all, you know, give us a like, a comment, a subscription, all that sort of stuff, because it does help. I'm doing this out of, you know, some accountability to myself, you know, a little bit of an experiment, learning in the open. And yeah, it's fun so far. So I'm going to keep on doing it, but it'd be great to get some engagement and feedback from the dozen or so people who are going to see this video. So thanks very much for watching if you've made it this far. Yeah, that's this is me, Jono from OpenLearnSec, signing off, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.